Matrix Resurrections. I didn't know whether I'd do a video on this or not, but there is some interesting stuff in it. In fact, it's jam-packed full of stuff, but I'm going to concentrate on just a couple of things, because there's other videos out there, and the videos that I would reference would be Quantum of Conscience, Matt over there with his couple of videos that he's already done, and I think he's going to do another video, which I'll be interested to see. But there's no point. I'm not here to explain the film, and I'm not here to. I will explain it a little bit, and I'm not here to go through every little hidden message in detail that's in the film, okay, and the meaning behind, this, that, and the other. I'm just going to concentrate on really two things, because what we're dealing with is we've already had the death of Neo. Excuse me, the sacrificial death of him in the last film, and so now we've got to have the resurrection of him again, and we've got to have the resurrection of him again in terms of being in charge of the Matrix now, controlling the Matrix, okay? Anyway, so I just want to focus on a couple of things, and I mean, if you've seen Matt's videos, and if you're a truther, you probably, in fact, you probably don't even need to see his video if you've already watched this and you're into the truth thing. But there are some interesting bits and bobs in there, and a couple of things that I hadn't spotted. But for the most part, like probably everybody else that watches those videos, probably you've already spotted 90% of it yourself, and for people that are watching this one, that you've probably already know what I'm going to say when you see this scene. But this is for the people that don't know, or maybe I'm not quite getting it, or at least I'm just going to tell you what I think it means. Let's put it that way. So I need to cut this waffle in. The first thing I want to talk about before I get onto this scene here, right, is I want to talk about why wait approximately 20 years to redo this film, to do another sequel to it. Because if it was just about money, they could have already done a couple more sequels to this film, for the franchise. So why wait 20 years? Well, there's a purpose behind that. Yeah? There's a significance to waiting 20 years, yeah, and we're back to the Space Odyssey thing, back to Odysseus and the homecoming of Odysseus, coming home again after the long voyage, after being out in the Matrix, back out of the Matrix, coming home, yeah. And what coming home means is to come back into balance with both the physical and spiritual side of nature, but especially coming out of the man-made fictions that we have created for ourselves. Yeah, the things that control us are all the bastardized, man-made. Excuse my French, but those things that we've created for ourselves. Yeah, those fictions that we've created. Yeah, we've delved into the metaphysical realm, and we've got our fingers dirty. We've too many fingers in the pie, and we've made a real mess of things. So this is what this is about. This is about awakening back from that thing again. So we just have basically another repeat of the first Matrix, really. And it's significant to have that repeat again, at the start and the finish of a cycle, to have that repeat of the same idea. This is why the number 10 is used. They use IO as the city name for Zion now. And again, those people as well have started on their cycle of becoming corrupted by machine. They've started using machine to improve their lives, yeah. Oh man. So again, we see the same theme running through into the so-called real world in the film as well. But that IO, I think that's referenced in the sequel to Space Odyssey in 2010. I think IO is referenced in there. I'm not 100%, but yeah, IO is 1, 0. Yeah, they go on about the binary in this all the time, and 1 and 0 is, of course, the finish. It is the completion of the cycle. Yeah, 10. So it's the completion of the metaphysical cycle, and this is what we're talking about coming out of the metaphysical cycle. So of course it's going to be somewhere in the film anyway, and there it is. You know. So anyway, so we have this 20-year reference. Don't know why I'm coughing so much. We have a 20-year reference there. Well, it's 22, I think, with the first Matrix to this one. And of course, so we've got a 22 reference, which is a year that I have kind of been looking at. We also have a 21 reference because this one's come out in 21. And we also have, excuse me again, and we also have a 20-year reference, and the 20-year reference comes from the fact that this film heavily references 2001, that event that took place, the 7/11 event. Yeah, and in fact, I think there was a 7/11 thing on the side of one of the buildings, and we had the jumpers, and we had the helicopters with the rockets and on the buildings that looked a lot like, you know. And I think Matt even pointed out one that I didn't even spot was one with the Blooming Pigeon flying across a couple of, you know, in front of a couple of buildings. Yeah, I hadn't even spotted that one. So, you know, you can always find a little, when you watch somebody else, you can always find a little bit more, you know, a little bit more hidden stuff, if you like. And I'm sure there's a ton more stuff in there that I haven't spotted yet. But I wanted to come on to the resurrection scene, if you like. And what we have before this scene takes place is we have Neo on the side of a building. That pigeon that I was just talking about is on the side of the building. Well, the pigeon, of course, is the homing pigeon, the thing that flies home, can find its way home. So it takes off. You know, there's a reference right there to coming home. Not to mention that the pigeon is part of the dove family, and so you have that idea of the spirit taking flight again. You know what I mean? So, you know, you have the dove from above right there. You know, so there's, like, you know, layers of truth just with that little with just one little pigeon sat on the wall next to him. And what ends up happening is he ends up getting dragged from there by the girl with the white, you know, it's not the girl with the white rabbit, but we have that reference again. It's this character here, which is called Bugs, by the way. Bugs Bunny, what's up, Doc? So another nice little Doc reference. I don't know if they're trying to reference Back to the Future or what, I don't know. But of course the Doctor is the thing that maintains the system, yeah, the Doctor. So anyway, he gets dragged on. They basically go through a doorway, and then they're suddenly on a moving train. You know, the train is, it looks to me like it's they may mention this, I'm not sure, but it looks like the Japanese bullet train. And so they're on that bullet train, and again, that looks like another reference back to the Future again for me, because if you remember in Back to the Future 2, which what I call the Hoover Dam scene is the hoverboard scene, when Marty buys that almanac, in the window of the shop there, which is, I think it's Blast from the Past, there's a reflection on the window, and it looks like a bullet train. It's just a car that's sat in front of the shop, but it does look like the bullet train, and it's just interesting that they chose to have the bullet train, you know, as the sort of the link to this porthole here, or the portal here, or the door. So that was interesting. And we've got him here, and I think Matt said, yeah, he's stood in a pyramid. Well, yeah, it is a pyramid. But for me, this is, and I mean it's the same symbolism as, you know, the cup of the cup of Christ and the phallus, as they're just the inverted symbolism of one another, A and V, yeah. But what this is to me is, this is the Vesica Pisces, yeah. This is the tear, this is the slit in the screen. The screen is the dam, the dome, the moon, the matrix, the, you know, it is the film screen, the place where the fiction is broadcast on, yeah. They even broadcast they even projected something up on, they did a film up on the Hoover Dam, and I did a video on that, which is pretty interesting as well. So, you know, this is what this is. You know, this is the place where you are born from. Yeah, this is, he's looking in there right now, but this is the place you've got to come out of, right? It's interesting that they've got this other sort of blacker slit right here, and at one point in here, he's getting dragged through this mirror, almost back into that reality, back into the matrix. Yeah, so it's interesting that they went ahead and put that on there, and they've got the mirror symbolism as well, about one side being the fiction and one side being the physical, yeah. And so he's getting almost drugged back in there at one point, but that's not the interest. That's not the interesting stuff, right? The interesting thing is that we've got these angels. We've got one over here, and there's one over this other side that we can't see. Winged angels, right? And of course, at the Hoover Dam, what are there? There are two bronze-ish winged angel statues. Yeah, so I thought that was interesting. And either side of those two winged angels are two of these candelabra candle towers, if you like. There's one here, and there would be one on the other side of this angel, and then again on the other side there was a pair of them on either side of the angel on the other side. So we got four candlestick things. Again, is it a reference to the inlet towers at the Hoover Dam? Maybe. What else do I want to say about this scene? Basically, they end up getting ambushed here, and so they get back on the train. And as they're getting back on the train, I don't think that's on that one. As they're getting back on the train, I don't know, there's a point in here where we could find that. I wish I could find that. As they're getting back on the train, this is him being reborn, which is going to occur in a minute. After they've got back on the train, he's going to go through a mirror, and on the wall behind, so he's going to go into a bathroom on the train, and on that wall is a sun with some storks or cranes or something, you know, one of those birds that carries the newborn child, yeah. And we've got the sun imagery with those birds. So we've got that idea of rebirth again, and he's going to go into the bathroom, yeah, into the plumbing where he's going to come out of. He's getting flushed out of the system. So he's going into the bathroom, and as he goes through the mirror in the bathroom, he's coming out of his pod, basically out of the womb, out of the what do I want to call this? The birth sac, or, you know, this is what's happening. He's coming out of that thing, the artificial womb. But what's interesting is just before they go out of here, I think it might be in the other, I've got another clip up, but as they're just going out of here, the people that are the baddies shoot a rocket through here, and it might be in this other scene, which maybe I'll just, hang on, let me flip back through here. There's him coming off the rooftop after he's just seen the pigeon, and he's about to jump. Boy, I wish I could find that. It's right in here somewhere, I'm sure of it. Maybe it's not. Let's not worry about it. But anyway, needless to say, they shoot like a bazooka rocket or some type of rocket through, goes through here, goes through there, and it goes through the train and blows up. Kind of reminded me again of Back to the Future when they're trying to shoot the bazooka off. What else? What else am I thinking of? So we got to where he's being reborn out of his pod. The pod itself, these pods. Let's see if I can find a picture of this pod real quick. I doubt I can find it now. I had them up a minute ago. But anyway, there's definitely some. I wonder if this will come up big or not. So you can slightly see. There might be some good shots in here of it. No, not really. There he is in the tub. I love it. The Lake Mead is the bathtub. Got the bathtub ring. I don't know if there's anything good in here. There's that image of these towers of the pods. Well, we've got a kind of an electrical feel here, and of course this is the thing that makes the electricity, just like the dam creates electricity, the 1.21 gigawatts, which coincidentally Doc could have gone to the Hoover Dam. I mean, that would have created enough power. Here's the rocket launcher. This is perfect. So there's the rocket going through there. Of course, is there going to be a rocket shot at the face of the dam? Well, don't know. We're going to find out, I guess. I don't know. Is there anything else interesting here I want to... I don't really want to waste a ton of time on the rest of it. But, yeah, anyway. So after he gets out of here, they pick him up, basically. And they have to end up putting him straight back into what they call the construct. Because he's not doing so well. And what ends up happening is when he's in the construct, Morpheus, I guess, starts this program up, right? And this program is, again, another, it's just another iteration of destroying the matrix, destroying the dam. Yeah, so we have you can't really see it very well here. You'll be able to see it in the end of this scene. But we have this bridge coming over here, this arch, like the Pat Tillman Bridge in front of the Hoover Dam. Then we have the dam here. Let's move on a little bit. See if we can get a better picture. And here's the dam. We've got the screen again, the thing that broadcasts the fiction, the monolith. Yeah, with the eye at the center, where you're birthed from, where everything's birthed from. And it kind of looks a bit like the Ark of the Covenant here. It's the temple, it's the courthouse, it's all those things. It's the dam, again, it's the moon. Look, we've got the bars, like it's the like the cage. So it's got all those ideas embedded in it. And basically, anyway, Morpheus has to, get Neo engaged again, and finally he gets him kind of angry enough that he is ready to fight again. And so what happens here is some of the powers come back to Neo, and boom, basically he destroys that thing there in the middle of the lake. Yeah, they're on a body of water, Lake Mead again. And there's the Pat Tillman Bridge, and so we have that idea of that thing being blown up, I guess. And I think we came in this way. This thing blows up, and it looks like we're looking out. We've come out the other side, if you like. There's a sort of progress there. Anyway, that was really all I wanted to say about it. I mean, the recap is that we have the story of Odysseus again returning home, after 20 years. They've gone to great lengths to really reference 9/11 in that thing. I mean, really reference it a lot. With the jumpers, with the buildings, with them. They have to, the idea of taking that leap of faith and coming out of the man-made fictions that we have in life. They've really I mean, the film itself it's not really a wonderful film. The first time I watched it really wasn't that great, and I forced myself to watch it again, and it was a bit better the second time. It's, you know, again, it's probably like one of those. It's probably like one of those songs that you hear on the radio, and you don't quite like it to begin with, and you just hear it enough times, and it grows on you, sort of thing. But yeah, there's nothing really more to say about it. We've got the reference of the end of the cycle, and we've got the reference to this awakening again, and we've got, I think, a couple of references back to the Hoover Dam. I don't know, or it might reference something else, but you know, that idea. You know, we're also in where are we at? We're in San Francisco with the Golden Gate Bridge, the thing that you know, that final, you know, Back to the Future 3, that final bridge back across to sort of balance, yeah, to balance both sides of reality. That's what the Golden Gate Bridge is. It's the thing that's there to reference that balance. I don't know what the name of that tower is in San Francisco, and Matt references it in his little discussion, but it just, I think I just talked about that blooming thing in Mrs. Doubtfire in the last video, with that reference. So that was in that that bloody clip from Mrs. Doubtfire. So that's just it. You know, the references are just all round in circles at the minute. And I think that's really all I wanted to say. You know, this is the screen, the illusion being shattered now. That's what you have to do in your life, is shatter that illusion. Come out of the Matrix. Anyway, oh boy, they could have done a better job with it, but the point was not to make it. You know, you can't. The point is, you know, in this reality, things are not going to get better. You know, the reason why all these films are getting worse, and I mean, Matt didn't seem to think this one was. I mean, I don't think he was blown away by it, but I don't think he was a deliberate ruining of the franchise. But the reason why these films have got to get worse, it's just the nature of the Matrix. You know, everything deteriorates in it. You know, and so does, you know, that kind of, you know, the inspiration that is bought by the fiction. Yeah, the more it gets corrupted, the further away you get from balance, the uglier the stuff gets, basically, to put it mildly. So this is why these films are not going to get any better. This is why a sequel rarely is as good or better than the first, you know, the first version of it. I think I just leave it there, really. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that wasn't too long of a video. Alright, well, I'll catch you on the next one. Alright, cheers, bye.